don't know if this is even a trailer. This looks more like a teaser, but I've heard reports that this is Agamemnon, and that's awful. Okay. Agamemnon is the older ruler that led the forces. He should be a wise king. He was played by Brian Cox, I believe, in the Troy movie. And I have massive issues with the Troy movie from a historical perspective, from an Iliad perspective, and everything like that. But the casting was overall fantastic in that film. And the fight choreography was great, but it was not accurate to any sort of source material, no matter how you look at it. But this young man being Agamemnon is a major problem. And I hate this costume. The cheekbones, the golden spine on the back of his neck. This just looks awful.
After years of war,
Everything just looks so drab and uninteresting, which Christopher Nolan's not known for his explosive color, but Hollywood in general is obsessed with let's make everything dirty and brown because that's really exciting, isn't it? No, it's not. Not even the red of their feathers or their helmets can stand out. It's all muddy.
no one could stand between my men and home.
Now, the boat design I think is okay. I have to see the mast. I believe at this time they should have single square sail, and this looks all right. At the beginning of the story of the Odyssey, he had multiple boats. His army was large enough that there were multiple, but it kind of got whittled down to solely one. I hope we have other boats, but at this point, this boat looks fine enough.
Not even
Yes.
me.
Okay, he got the boats right at this. These boats look great, and there's multiple of them, smaller sizes. He's got the flagship. All right, this part of it is at least looking great, and we know that he did all this practically out on the Aegean Sea, where the story is supposed to be taking place. So I love that aspect of it. Filming on location with the boats that look phenomenal, the ships. So that's a great sign for me. I'm guessing that that's probably the sequence with Charybdis or Stilla and Charybdis. So that's probably Stilla where they're trying to hide from her tentacles coming down from above them. I hope I'm getting the pronunciation right. And that looks good. I hope that he doesn't downplay the mythology, though. From his comments, it sounds like he's trying to ground it. This is a mythological story. The gods have active influences on the story. Athena is a major character in it. So you can't just say, oh, they're interpreting the weather as Poseidon being angry at them, which his comments seem to imply. We need to see Polyphemus as this giant cyclops. We need to see Scylla and Charybdis as these horrifying monsters that you flee from because they're forces of nature in their strength. And the gods is larger than life. I worry that Christopher Nolan, famous for grounding the Dark Knight trilogy, will do the same for this story. And this is the last story you should do something like that for. Oh, I take back some of that. That was a big ass Cyclops. And yeah, this looks like it's all the Polyphemus stuff right before he says nobody and whatnot. Some of his crew fleeing from the Cyclops. He looked great. I want to see if I can get a good shot of that Cyclops because he looked great. He did not look. Oh, that doesn't look like just a big dude. I was worried he'd cast like a 7 foot tall basketball player, CGI, maybe or put an eye patch on him or something like that and ground it too much. That is a fucking Cyclops. And that cave, it's a naturalistic cave. I think that works. And that's a very small opening, which will be good for him to put the rock in front of as he does in the story. Oh, and I don't know if this moment here, right before this, of Matt Damon looking up at him, if you just look at that eye line, Polyphemus is huge. Thank God. All right. I'm starting to get a little bit more faith in this yes, the costumes are bad, but if that's the worst thing about this, it could still be a phenomenal movie. I haven't had any problems with the dialogue so far. I know a lot of people online, on Twitter and whatnot, are leaping on every criticism, like, this is going to be garbage. Oh my God, it's going to suck. Just because they hate Christopher Nolan being great. It's the same thing with Expedition 33. Some people have decided that it's not for them, so everything about it must be eviscerated. Like people who didn't understand Tenet, therefore said it's dumb, doesn't make sense, and is awful. Yes, Tenet has substantial issues, but its plot does make sense. It's a bit of an egotistical perspective to say, hey, it didn't make sense to me, therefore it must not make sense. And I think some of that mentality has endured from Tenet. People still angry about Tenet, thinking that Christopher Nolan's overrated because they didn't understand Tenet or Inception for that matter, and Interstellar. Interstellar's a big one. They don't understand the black hole at the end, so they think it's stupid and dumb, and he's awful. So there's that anti-Christopher Nolan field that is going against this movie. But this trailer, besides the costuming, I have tentative hope for it so far. Oh, this has got to be the land of the dead. Oh, it looks like a desolate wasteland. That looks great. Yeah. This is definitely the land of the dead. Okay, and he's not shying away from. These are basically ghosts that come on in kind of zombie-like form. He's not shying away from that. Oh, I'm not at the point where I should. Am going to whisper, Christopher Nolan, I should never have doubted you, but I want to be at that point. This is looking great. Dude, the storm sequence looks like it's going to be great. There's several storms throughout the story, but I think Christopher Nolan can pull off some grand scale effects like this.
Promise me you will come back.
What if I can't?
I really like that music. Is there a tag at the end? No, that looks like it. All right. I really liked that trailer. Let's see if I can find another shot of Polyphemus. And we'll just pause it there. So I really enjoyed that trailer. The music was working for me. I still don't like the costumes, and I did see some cam footage from in a theater for the prologue where you see the Trojan horse, and I don't like the design of the Trojan horse. So I have problems outside of this trailer. Like Legatus is pointing out, the casting, I despise Zendaya as Athena. That is one of the worst castings in human history, in my opinion. So a lot of stuff outside of this trailer are still concerning to me. That's why I can't wholly say that I'm looking forward to this movie yet. But I think they assembled a great trailer. This has got me more excited for the Odyssey than anything since I saw the very first costume reveal for Matt Damon. He's not shying away from the mythology, from the grand fantastical scale. Yes, he's coding it in a grimy exterior, but that's fine. These guys are returning from war. I'm not going to cry, Dr. Rachel, but yes, there are still a lot of red flags with this movie. I was worried that this trailer would just be red flag after another. The only red flags I can see is I don't like the costuming, especially Agamemnon. Agamemnon's armor is awful, but I can look past all of that and enjoy this movie in the theater if it's well written and leans into the mythology. I don't know how you guys feel, but I am absolutely looking forward to the Odyssey now from Christopher Nolan.
There isn't time for an alternative.
Venturing out into the unknown doesn't have to be frightening.
To push the boundaries of the known with the never conceived of.
Today the world will remember who we are and never forget it.